Good evening, good evening. My name is Chris Schweda, coming to you from New Orleans, Louisiana, and I'm flat out excited to be able to share with you guys tonight. What is all this buzz about this happy coffee everyone's been talking about? It's just crazy how good I feel on this stuff. So we're going to be getting started here and just kind of share, a little bit of background of what has happened and why are people so crazy about this stuff? Why are people so excited about something as simple as a cup of coffee? It's funny, people are already drinking a cup of coffee. I was drinking coffee, and when a friend of mine told me that there was a coffee that would do what this does, it honestly sounded too good to be true. Like, I was skeptical. Really, coffee can do that? Like, it sounded like some magical unicorn coffee. And being where I was literally at the lowest point of my life. I went from making a six-figure income to getting sick, and I found myself almost 6 figures in debt, with $40,000 in credit card debt, a $40,000 home equity line of credit, an air conditioner out in my house, lost a $100,000 boat. To say I was at a disempowered state I was at the lowest point I'd ever been in my life, being sick for 2 years and having my finances go down the toilet. And with that being said, when he was talking about happy coffee and sharing what happened for him, not only from a weight loss side, but the way that it made him feel, I can say I at least said, you know what, I need to try this stuff and see if it could possibly do something for me. And what I can share with you is within 15 minutes, which doesn't happen for everybody, but most people will feel something right away. But for me, in 15 minutes, I was asking him, calling him up, going, dude, is this stuff legal? Because I could not believe how great I felt on this stuff. Now, being in I wouldn't call it depression, but it was like a depressed anxiety. Didn't know who I was anymore after going from doing really well for many, many years to not being able to pay my bills, a mortgage a month behind. I was definitely not in the most empowered state. And this stuff, when I drank it, I literally put a scoop of this stuff in my coffee, and within 15 minutes, I felt like me again. I felt totally normal again, like I had never. And so I'm asking him, like, well, how does that even happen? He said that when you drink this coffee and take this pill, and you basically, together, we call it dose. And what that means is, and I couldn't pronounce all the names and stuff when he was explaining it, but I was like, that sounds cool. If it makes me feel like this, I don't care what they're called or how to spell them, how to pronounce them. All I know is I felt amazing. So what he said is that it causes your brain to naturally release dopamine, oxytocin from the pill, serotonin, and endorphins together. That's called dose. So you could do something as simple as what you're already doing, basically scoop into your cup, drink it, and then feel amazing in 15 minutes. So guys, we have a very simple, and a lot of people are and you're gonna hear some other stories, right? For me, it gave me energy, focus, clarity, all these great things. But this is the cool thing about it. Some of you all have jumped on here to find out about how does this coffee work, and you just heard me talking about some tea. Guys, we have a peach tea that I mix that with this and this. And you want to talk about goodness? Oh my gosh, I'm drinking that right now. And it's amazing that we have things that people are already doing. And this is the cool thing about it. And this is why so many people are winning in a big, big way from a business perspective, is because you already know how to drink tea. You already know how to drink coffee. I tried to rhyme it, but still didn't sound good. But anyway, we already know how to drink coffee. We already know how to drink tea. And we know how to basically sit down with a friend and have a cup of coffee. And what I can tell you is that because of simplicity, because all you have to be able to do is say, hey, do you know anybody drinks coffee or tea? Oh my gosh, have you heard about the happy coffee everyone's been talking about? Or the happy tea? If they say, I drink tea every day. Awesome, have you heard about the happy tea everyone's been talking about? No, what is that? Oh my gosh, boom, and share your story on what it did for you. But instead of me sitting here explaining all this stuff, guys, facts tell, stories sell. And what I can tell you, when you hear the stories on what this product is doing for other people, I think you'll be pretty blown away as well. So with that being said, I'm going to start this bad boy off, and I'm going to go to a good friend of mine out of the same great state of Louisiana, Miss Toni Garcia.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Chris. Yes, South Louisiana I am, south of New Orleans. And when I tell people that, they're like, wow, I didn't realize there was a south of New Orleans, but I am down here on the bayous of Lafourche. So, you know, sharing my story, and it's pretty impactful what these products and opportunity have done for me. And I'm going to just try to sum it up in just a couple minutes for you. So, you know, my story started not 2.5 years ago when I was introduced to this product, but you know, it comes from a lifetime of being where I was in that particular moment and just being so desperate for a change. Just like Chris, I went through my own health issues. I had a female cancer 3 years prior to this, and I was still struggling with the emotions that stem from that. And the biggest deal that I felt like in my mind that was holding me back was, it was a female cancer. Hormones were crazy and wild. I'd gained over 100 pounds. And so in my mind, I was thinking, you know, I was to a point in my life where Chris, you know, mentioned he doesn't really want to classify it as depression. And maybe that's not what it was for me. I don't want to say that it was, but I'll just share with you the way that I was feeling every day was not a way that any mother, wife, sister, friend wants to feel. You know, I was to a point to where I didn't even want to talk to my family anymore. I just wanted to stay in bed. It was a struggle just to get up and out of the bed every day on most situations. Nothing motivated me. I didn't want to get up and play with my grandbabies. And that just wasn't, you know, I just was very unhappy. And I felt like in my mind, I felt like it was because of the weight that I gained. I was just so ashamed and embarrassed, and it was holding me back. Because of this, I isolated myself a lot, which led to some social anxiety. And so I was really in a bad situation emotionally. But because of those emotions were there, I thought if I just lost weight, you know, everything would be back to normal, right? So a friend of mine reached out to me and shared this happy coffee. And, you know, women, how many of you are here because you saw somebody lose 5 or 10 pounds, right? Like women, that just grabs our attention. And for me, that's what it was. That's what brought me here, but that's certainly not what kept me here. A friend of mine reached out and shared the happy coffee with me. She sent me a sample. And I'm telling you, you know, Chris shared what his first experience was, and everybody doesn't have a very profound first experience. I think it's because my body was so deficient in what this coffee has to offer. It's not just regular coffee, guys. Our coffee has special powers to make you feel absolutely incredible. And so literally within before I ever finished that first cup, I felt extremely, you know, I felt incredible. I saw myself, like literally I had an outer body experience that day, seeing myself doing things that I hadn't done in years, feeling like I hadn't felt in years. And I knew that I needed this in my life. We were, you know, I had my back against the wall financially. We were strapped because of the health issue that I'd gone through. And, you know, because of that, I really didn't have a way. We made a way. I ended up borrowing the money, and that's a whole story on its own, but it was absolutely incredible and beautiful. And I can laugh at it now, but it was a bad situation then. And so many times when an opportunity like this is introduced to us, we step in, or we take that chance out of one, inspiration, or two, desperation. And for me, I was probably more desperate for a change than I was inspired. You know, I saw that it could do things for me, but I wasn't hopeful because I just felt like at that point in my life, I felt like I was just done. And, you know, the coffee, what it done for me was absolutely incredible. I'd gone on to lose over 40 pounds. So I did get the weight loss, not the whole 100 that I wanted. And I'm still working on that. But guys, I feel absolutely incredible, better than I have in so many years. You know, I can be the best mama that I can be. I can be the best grandma, the best wife. And to know that I'm providing the best self that I can to my friends and family, that just fulfills me. And guys, the opportunity, you know, the opportunity that I have to change lives with simply sharing a cup of coffee has been such a tremendous blessing to me. The financial, you know, from a financial standpoint, it's been absolutely incredible, but that's nothing compared to the fulfillment that I get just from our mission. And, you know, when they introduced this, not the coffee, but the business, when I realized that this company's whole mission and goal was to share happiness with the world, who doesn't want to be a part of that? Like, this world is hurting and desperate right now. And guys, we need to be out there front and center sharing this with the world. So I appreciate you, Chris, giving me, Ricky, the opportunity to share my story here tonight. I know that there's so many people out there hurting, guys. This product helped me dramatically to change my life. And if you're out on here and if you're looking for a change, I'm telling you that you should at least give this a try. So thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Toni. So now we're going to go over to Bobble Garrabrant. Bobby, are you out there? I know you had an awesome story with the product as well.
I am here. And thank you so much for asking me to share my story. That is one thing that I am so passionate about. A lot of people who are on my Facebook can see that, especially when I do my lives. But so I had reached out to Damien because I saw him posting, and I had spoke with him at the end of last year. And I was a mess. I was a complete mess. I actually didn't start it. I put it off all the way till I think it was March. So for me, and I'm in Arizona. So if you guys are curious, I'm 48 years old. I live in Arizona. Anyway, I was born with deformed and not fully formed joints. I need both my hips replaced. I've dislocated more joints, my hips, my shoulders. I don't even know how many times. Was told I needed shoulder surgery. I was in absolute pain over the years because I'm 48, female. I started putting the weight on. And because I was in so much pain with so much arthritis, my blood pressure was out the roof. I was in red on everything. I had the worst hot flashes. I was in a miserable state of mind too. I tried everything. I tried walking, I tried exercise, but I was in so much pain, I couldn't do anything. So I started on the coffee, and, the only thing I changed was the coffee. I haven't changed anything else other than I started exercising later. But since I've been on it, I have lost over 20 pounds. I'm maybe 20 pounds away from my end goal. I am so excited. I actually, about a month after I lost 15 pounds, and that was with no exercise, guys, 0. I started exercising, and so I'm down over 20 pounds. Just today, I'm super excited. I went and bought some more weights, heavier leg weights and heavier arm weights. I swim every day. My blood pressure has been perfect since I started on it. That's the only thing I can contribute it. I'm not claiming it. I'm just saying, since I've been on it, I have no more hot flashes. I have more energy. I sleep better. I feel amazing. So, and one more thing, I also didn't want to, I didn't really fully do the business. I kind of was just in it a little bit, doing it part-time. But each month, you guys, don't give up. That's the one thing I can't say enough. Don't give up. Don't just give it a month. I've been on it like 4 months or so now, and each month something different and new things have changed. So don't give up on it. Let the product do what it needs to do, and help the product, if that even makes sense. Like the appetite suppressant, I listened to it and I started adjusting things, and that's where I am today. So, and now I'm full throttle on sharing my story. So thank you, Chris, for allowing me to come on here and share my story. I love it. So
awesome. Thank you so much, Bobby.
You
so
bet.
Now we're going to go over to Scott Lindsley. Sorry.
Hello.
What's happening, Scott?
I'm doing great this evening. It's so fun. Thank you for the opportunity to share my story today. First of all, I'm a single dad up in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Kenosha, don't you know? Just north of Chicago. And I'll be honest, a friend of mine offered me this product, and I kind of sat back and said, what's this happy coffee stuff that he said everybody's talking about? I hadn't heard about it, so come on, what's going on? Happy coffee. I'm like, maybe it's just a gimmick. So I just sat out. I ghosted him. I didn't talk to him, and about a month later, well, let me back up just a little. I've been in sales most of my life. I've done a lot of different things, literally cheese to internet. And I was most recently in a corporate job that was dealing more with pricing and contracts. And I will tell you what, I was stressed out beyond anything. I mean, my family noticed it and everybody was getting on me about it. But so the end of the year, the company kind of made a transition, and, I lost my job. And I was like, well, you know what? I'll ride this out, have Christmas with my son. We'll have a little bit of Christmas, and then, get back on the horse to get everything going. Well, now I'm like, oh, stress is gone. Things started feeling better for me. And then my buddy came along and offered me this. I'm like, all right, whatever. So about a month later, he says, Scott, have you tried that happy coffee yet? I said, honest, Jacob, I haven't. He goes, dude, just give it a shot. And he goes, I'll make you a deal. I gave you 2 samples. I'll give you 5 more. Try it for a week. I promise you, Scott, this will make a difference in your life. And so I also coach single dads. And so he was trying to help coach me through some other things that was going on. And so I said, okay, whatever. I'll do it for 7 days. Well, instantly, day 1, immediately, oh man, you got some energy here. This is good stuff, but I've taken other products and give me a lot of energy, or have given me a little bit of appetite suppressant. Yep, I've done that. But about day 4 for me, things started changing. I like woke up in the morning and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I feel refreshed. I mean, I woke up tired forever. I kind of feel okay today. And then about 2 days later, 6 days in, I started dreaming, and I'm like, man, I haven't had a dream that I remember for like 30 years. So I was like, my body was so stressed out. I didn't even know I was still stressed out, that my mind couldn't even dream and rest right. So what ended up happening? I called my buddy. I'm like, yes, I'm in. And you know what? I just want to sell the coffee too, because this is that important to me, that I can't fake my body sleeping better. I can't fake it. I can't psychoanalyze anything. It's just happening. And I was so excited. And so before I even got my first product, my first full product, I joined the business. And over the last 3 months of me being in this business, so many people have come across my path where, you know what, they've been able to experience things in a different way, an exciting way. And I've been able to, guess what, guys? Unfortunately, I'm still unemployed. COVID happened and it's kind of slowed it down. But this business has helped maintain a little bit of normalcy for me. So my stress level that could go through the roof with my personality stayed in check. Again, this little cup of coffee is a pretty amazing thing, and I'm pretty excited about it. I love to share my story to as many people as I can. 1 cup at a time. I have a little note out here on my computer. We're just sharing a cup of coffee, man. Who doesn't like coffee? Share it. There's so many other benefits that come with it. It's just amazing. So anyhow, that's my story. Thank you for letting me share it, and let's see what next steps are.
Thanks a lot, Scott. Good stuff, good stuff. So now let's go over to Kyla. Kyla, are you out there?
Here. Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. Hi, happy Monday. I'm Kyla Gabriel. I live in Southern California. I'm a mama to a beautiful toddler, my little 3-nager. Sorry if you hear her in the background or banging on the door soon somewhere. But I actually have a degree in law that I'm not using at all. But my husband and I decided to start a dog training business together. So I've been fortunate enough to be working from home technically the last couple of years mostly. But after I had my daughter a little over 3 years ago, I pretty much just became full-time mama. Like I couldn't picture leaving her in daycare. So husband's doing all the work now. I do all the mama work, which is a lot of work. Let me tell you, it's the hardest job in the world. Okay. But still, that's pretty much all I did. And you guys, I'm not a salesperson. I didn't like talking to people. That's why I chose to work with dogs, because dogs are way easier than people. But it's my mom who actually chose to share this coffee with me. And truth be told, I only tried it just to make her happy, just to make mama happy. She knew I was a Starbucks addict, like every day, you guys, like spending $200 a month on coffee. It was really, really bad. I've suffered from anxiety pretty much my whole life. Can't even tell you how many times I visited the hospital because I thought I was having a heart attack. Like, if any of you have anxiety, you know what I mean. You don't know what I mean if you don't have it, because it's a real thing. So, there was a lot of things going on that she knew it could probably help with. So I tried it to make her happy, whatever. Let me tell you guys, 2 weeks into trying it, I didn't even like Starbucks anymore. Like, what? that alone blew my mind, okay? And I'm not a medical professional or anything. I'm not making any kind of claims, but the way this has helped my anxiety, you guys, is life-changing. As cliche and ridiculous as it sounds, life-changing. To not have to go to the hospital thinking I'm dying of a heart attack, like, that's huge, okay? Like, I have a mom. I have a mom. I do have a mom. But I have a daughter now. I am a mom. Like, ain't have time to be sick. Like, we can't be going through things like that. So to have something as simple as this to change my life in such an impactful way blew my mind. Of course, it dropped the 14 pounds of baby weight I was carrying around too, you know, so that was definitely like a bonus that I welcomed gladly. I'm like finding myself vacuuming at midnight now, which, ask my husband, I am not a good housekeeper. So there's tons of benefits that I have experienced, and it just keeps getting better and better over time. And naturally, what does everyone do? You share your life on social media. I was already sharing, you know, pretty much everything I love anyway. So I just started sharing this new coffee with no intentions of starting a business or anything like that. You guys, I soon realized like how many people were interested in this stuff, like wanting to know what the heck this magic in my cup is, and how many people actually needed this stuff. Like, who doesn't want to be happier and healthier, right? Like, and let me tell you guys, when you're like actually happy, like on a real scientific level, your life changes in ways that you can't even imagine possible. So here I am now, less than a year later, and I have this business that I literally started by accident. I wasn't trying to do this. It just happened. And I'm making a full-time income now, you guys. Like, that's crazy for not even looking for anything. You know, like, we were doing okay before. We were fine, not rich by any means, but we were fine. But now to take some pressure off my husband, he doesn't have to work all day, every day. We don't have to have 15 dogs at the house at a time. Like, that's huge. So, I mean, and that's not even the biggest part of it. Like, the most fulfilling thing is my job is making people happier, like, by sharing a cup with them. Sounds too good to be true, but I'm so glad it's not. It's real, you guys. This has been amazing, and everyone's welcome. Everyone can sit with us. So I'm a lifer. I'm here for the long haul. So you guys are stuck with me whether you like it or not. That's all I got for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Now we're going to go over to Gavin Teague.
Hey everyone, Chris, thank you for having me on, and everybody, thanks for taking time out of your evening. I swear every time I get on these Zooms and listen to stories, I just have goosebumps the whole time because it's crazy just how impactful that this stuff is, just a cup of coffee and a capsule. So 2.5 years ago, the end of 2017, you know, I'm usually a pretty happy person, pretty energetic, but I had found myself just completely losing my enthusiasm, losing my touch on life, losing, you know, all of the energy that I had. I was $20,000 in credit card debt, trying to make it work in another company like a lot of people have in the past. And to be honest, I wasn't looking for an opportunity. I really didn't know what I was even looking for. I was just praying for something, direction, a sign from God. And I saw a friend of mine on Facebook talking about Happy Coffee, and I wasn't a coffee drinker. I've always been more of an energy drink guy, fruity drinks, anything like that. But I said, hey, why not try it? I like the word happy. I'm not happy right now. And what is there to lose? I got 4 samples, day 1 and day 2. It was like, honestly, I can't even put it into words, but it's like my brain just turned on again. My enthusiasm came back. I wasn't craving food. I'd been on a weight loss journey for 2 years prior to that, lost 50 pounds. I'd probably put 20 pounds back on, and was just eating out of habit, eating because it was 12 o'clock, eating because it was 6 o'clock. And, you know, I wasn't me. And after 2 days, I was like, wow, this is incredible. But truly what inspired me, because I was in a desperate spot, but I was part of another company at the time. I wasn't looking for anything else. What inspired me was I gave my dad 2 samples. He's a dad of 4 boys. My mom got really sick when I was in high school. That was a lot of what was weighing me down, what kind of had me depressed. My dad's anxiety in 2 days, I'm not going to say it went away. I'm not going to make a claim and say that this got rid of it. But he called me after 2 days. He said, Gavin, I don't know what in the world that you made me try, but he's like, I need you to get more of that. So at that point, I found out there was an opportunity. I looked at everything here and was like, who can't share a cup of coffee? You know, to make a business work like this, you have to have a product that is affordable, that is consumable, that people do and are going to continue to use, and that people can also take and go share their story. And that's exactly what this business is. It's having an experience and then sharing your experience with people that you love and care about, guys. There's a whole world of social media. Every single one of you has contacts in your phone. And I just started picking up the phone and reaching out to people and saying, hey, you drink coffee, right? Everybody's like, of course I do. Who doesn't? I always say, exactly. Have you ever heard of the happy coffee everybody's talking about? They get excited. They go, what's that? I share a sample with them, and it's repeat every single time, just like the stories that you heard on here. And within literally 6 months, guys, I had produced a 5-figure a month income at 21 years old. I had never, ever dreamed of income like that. I'm not saying that that's going to happen for you, but I'm just a normal guy from a small town that got really excited about what I was experiencing and knew that the world needed me, and just started sharing it with people. So if you're on this Zoom tonight, I can tell you this: the least you should do is get off this Zoom and experience the products. You know, start there, have a genuine experience. We're not here to close you. We're not here to sell you. We're not here to convince you. If these stories can't convince you to try something, then nothing will, right? But at best, do it with an open mind, with the intention of, if you love it, you're going to go out and share it and help other people. And you don't have to focus on selling. You can be introverted. You can be shy. You can be anyone and everyone, young or old, good or bad, at social media. It does not matter who you are, what you come from, or what you believe you're capable of. If you get excited about this, your excitement will build you a business that will be beyond your wildest imagination. So I'm just excited. We have gone out and changed a lot of people's lives, helped a lot of people make that extra $500 to $1,000 a month. And that's really what this business is built on. And I'm just excited. I've been here 2.5 years and just going to continue growing, continue helping everybody. And I'm excited if you're listening in for the first time, because you are about to have your life change in a major, major way. So Chris, over to you, buddy. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Awesome, guys. So in closing, you've heard what the product is doing for so many people. I mean, that is the reason why this thing has grown like crazy, because we have an instant gratification product that if somebody gets on this on a 30-day trial, they're going to see something. It's the coolest thing in the world, right? So then from a business perspective, I mean, we know most people will at least try out this, hey, if it does work, worst case scenario, I'm happy, right? So some of you all are checking this out and you're going, you know what, I'm cool with being happy. I'm good with that, right? So you're number one. But you might be allergic to extra money. You might not want to do anything else on the side. You might be doubting yourself on, can I do this? Do I want to do it? And all that. And really, guys, you just have to ask yourself, do you know anybody drinks coffee or tea? 2, can you add somebody into a Facebook group or share a sample with them, sit down with somebody and have a cup of coffee or tea? And if you can do that, add somebody to a Facebook group, send them a website, let them look at something else other than you. Let the coffee do the work for you. And then when they ask questions, well, how does this work? I have no idea. There's a Zoom on Wednesday night. You got to be on it. Check it out. Boom. You put them on something like this. You put them in a messenger thread. You get them on the phone with somebody else. And you let someone else answer all the questions for you. And if you can do that, you can have major success, just like many of the people you heard from tonight. So guys, there's only 2 types of people. Some people just want to be happy. You're number one. Cool. Get with the person, invite you on the call tonight and say, hey, I'm a number one. I want to be happy. And a number 2 is somebody says, you know what? I want to be happy and make extra money. You're a number 2. Get with the person, invite you on the call and say, hey, I'm a number 2. Show me how that all works and get started. With that being said, just want to appreciate everybody thank everybody for jumping on the call. And we will see you Wednesday night. Take care, guys. I will unmute the call. Everybody say good night. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.